The family of 15-year-old Janiyah Carr is once again waiting for justice. Thanks for inviting us in at 6 o'clock. Anne Marie has tonight off. Nearly 3 years after that Indianapolis teen was killed, the apartment maintenance man accused of raping and killing her withdrew his guilty plea in court today. So this sends this case to a jury trial this fall. Ashton Hackman explains this last-minute change.
Friday's hearing was a true gut punch for the family of 15-year-old Janiyah Carr, who have waited nearly 3 years for a conclusion to this case, now realizing they will have to sit through a jury trial in just a few months. The plea agreement had already been signed. 36-year-old Tevis Walker was expected to plead guilty to murder and felony sexual misconduct with a minor. He would have been sentenced to the minimum 45 years for murder and left the sentence for the other felony up to the judge. The other charges would have been tossed. Instead, he withdrew his guilty plea and asked for a jury trial.
Mr. Walker has indicated he does not wish to follow through with the negotiated plea agreement.
Prosecutors say the agreement offered the lowest sentence they were willing to accept.
That is significantly lower than his actual range, whether that's at trial or if a plea is negotiated at some point in the future. These numbers are the lowest that they will ever be.
Janiyah Carr was missing for 2 days before her body was found in a wooded area behind the Carriage House East Apartments. She was just 3 weeks shy of her 16th birthday. Prosecutors say Walker was a maintenance man at the complex. They say surveillance video helped link him to the killing. Walker will now be tried on all of the original charges he faced, which could carry more than 250 years of total prison time. He'll remain in jail until the trial begins. The prosecution is expected to once again file the habitual offender and firearm enhancements to this case. All of it is set for a jury trial on September 22nd. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
Carr's family and IMPD detectives were prepared to testify during the sentencing hearing. Both sides hinted that another plea offer would not be coming. And we're following breaking news on this Friday night. This coming on the west side of Indianapolis. Right now, IMPD on the scene investigating a deadly crash. Here's a live look at the scene. This is near South Tibbs and West Morris. The crash took place about an hour ago. We're working to learn more information about what happened. We'll let you know as soon as we get more details. Now to Madison County, in a courtroom this afternoon where a man charged with the murder of the Elwood police officer was sent back to prison from the state mental hospital. Our Rich Nye was in Anderson when a judge ruled that Carl Boards is competent now to face a death penalty trial.
Carl Boards is charged with shooting and killing 24-year-old Elwood police officer Noah Chavez during a traffic stop on July 31st, 2022. But the death penalty murder trial was put on hold last December when Judge Andrew Hopper ruled Boards incompetent to stand trial. After months of mental health treatment, the state hospital filed a report that says Boards has regained competency. The judge accepted that report Friday and sent Boards back to prison for safekeeping to await trial February 24th next year.
Absolutely, it's a positive step in the direction of this case. We believe that it's the correct decision. We believe it's what the record has reflected in this case, and it is a step in the ultimate trial and justice in this case.
The next hearing in this case is August 14th, where Boards attorneys will argue against the competency ruling. And because Boards will not talk to his attorneys, one of them has asked to be excused from the case. In Anderson, Rich Nye, 13 News.
The man accused of stalking Indiana Fever player Sophie Cunningham was back in court today. A judge denied a request to change bail for Kevin Singh. His attorneys asked to reduce his $40,000 cash bond. Prosecutors asked to increase that amount. He's charged with felony stalking. Singh allegedly sent Sophie Cunningham dozens of messages and made several posts on social media. He's due back in court next month. Want to give you a live look outside on this Friday night. It has been dry across central Indiana, but we are tracking rain chances. Angela's got the timeline for rain. So any of it hitting us tonight?
For some already. Really getting hit hard right now is Clinton County.
Okay.
National Weather Service issuing some flood advisories because of these slow-moving storms.
All
so
right.
We'll get to radar in just a minute. What you do need to know, we're not expecting widespread severe storms. We're not expecting everybody to get storms at the same time. And the severe threat for now now is across the southwestern part of the state. Here is what radar looks like. A lot of central Indiana in the clear. However, it's easy to see this broken line of rain and storms that extends from near Lafayette through Frankfort and then into the eastern part of the state just north of Richmond. I do want to give you a closer view and show you the movement of these downpours and storms slowly off to the south and east. This thin line is an outflow boundary working its way into the northern sections of Marion County. Sometimes that will be the focus for more storms, and sometimes it produces some gusty winds. You can see the heavy rain from Rossville to Frankfort to Kempton. We are monitoring some lightning with this as well. And then south of Winchester, we've had some street flooding in Randolph County. That is now impacting the northern sections of Wayne County. You can see with Future Track 13, this will slowly work its way south over the next couple of hours, and then additional storm chances tomorrow. I'll cover that in the weekend forecast.
All right, Angela, we'll see you in a little bit. Tonight at 6, the Indianapolis City Council president is weighing in on this growing debate on data centers. Maggie Lewis now says she plans to introduce an amendment to establish a moratorium on the approval of new data centers on Monday. This would halt the approval of any new data centers until a study of the long-term effects is completed. Lewis released the statement saying, "This is not about slowing progress, it's about exercising responsible leadership and ensuring that decisions of this magnitude are made through a thoughtful, transparent, and data-driven process." A Fisher's family tonight is stranded in Italy after a dream trip aboard a European cruise turned into a nightmare. All of this started with an unexpected medical crisis, leaving one of the family members fighting for her life inside of a hospital in Italy. Our reporter Emily Longnecker has details tonight.
A stomachache aboard a cruise ship in Italy quickly turned into septic shock for this Fisher's mom after she suffered a perforated bowel. 46-year-old Carrie Hess wound up in an Italian hospital on life support following 2 surgeries to clear the infection from her body. There with her husband Brian and son Leighton. But Brian says the language barrier made it nearly impossible to understand how bad his wife really was. Poor cell service made using his phone to translate difficult too.
I mean, you're just at a loss. I mean, you don't, and you never would expect yourself to be in that situation. And it's just, like I said, it's in the U.S. it'd be a horrible situation, but when you're here and having the language barrier, it takes it 100 times more difficult.
2 weeks later, Carrie has just been released from the hospital, but is still too weak to travel. The Hess family could be in Italy for several more weeks while Carrie continues to recover.
We're taking it one day at a time, seeing, I mean, sooner we're ready to get home. We're hoping a week, but we don't know if that's going to happen. I'm just going to have to take it, one day at a time and see how that's working.
Hess says if he had to do it again, the family would have gotten travel insurance that could have covered emergencies like this one. Bottom line, the family's thankful Carrie's alive, and for all their friends back home who stepped up to help.
It really shows who your true friends are, and that's been heartwarming.
Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
High temperatures tomorrow, depending on cloud cover. Upper 70s for some, everybody else warm and humid in the 80s, but I do have some 90s in the 7-day. I'll have the look ahead.
Also still to come, the city of Muncie trying again to fire a firefighter who's accused of helping his coworkers cheat on certification exams. We've got latest details on this push to remove him from his position. That's next.